Well, hello guys, welcome back to Lokean Gaming. I don't know if this will be so much gaming since we've been in here before, but I know a lot of people don't like the meditation app, so they're a sneaky way to put stuff on the channel, which I think is good for you. But that way lets people see it. Yay! Being sneaky. Come on, I'm a Lokean. You knew that was gonna happen. I had a very interesting experience. Had Odin come back. And before you worry, he was super, super nice. And basically the last year has been about, he didn't want me to walk down that path, the hard path, but I wasn't having it any other way because I refused to see Odin as anything but what certain people were saying he was like for them. So even though he was trying very hard to be gentle and kind, I wasn't having it, and in fact when people would say, no, he's really gentle and kind, I would get super agitated and angry. I think I actually blocked a couple people. And, you know, I was trying to honor the All-Father because what are we taught about him? That he's, you know, mean and horrible and he'll push you. And the transformation came today that there was this person that writes about him a lot, and I respect that they have their experience. And they wrote this article. And it was one of the most extreme articles they've written because they have a pretty extreme relationship with Odin. And again, I'm not like second guessing that or anything. That's their relationship. But Odin was using it to teach me that, you know, he wants me to walk the gentle path with him. He never at any time wanted me to do anything that made me feel threatened or unhappy, but it was my choice entirely. And of course, I didn't trust him when he said that. I'm like, sure, that's what you're saying now, whoever you really are. But if I go and I do this thing, the real Odin's going to show up out of nowhere and be scary. And he's like, no, I won't. It's me you're talking to, so I don't think I'm going to show up and be scary. So it was really good, but it was also kind of like really intense because I had to trust that everything that's happened has been for my betterment, and it's happened the hard way because I wouldn't let it happen the easy way. So he's been extremely gentle. He's about as rough as a kitten now. And he's done nothing but, you know, apologize and say, you know, that's what the kind of relationship he always wanted. But I couldn't embrace that aspect of Odin. So he didn't have much choice but to be more aggressive, and that's not what he wanted. So it was actually really healing to go through with him. Is that not cool? And that's why he had me start working on that board, because I thought he was humiliating me or making me eat my words, because I know I've used the term hippie Odin before, and I sincerely apologized. He didn't care. But it was a thing about he wanted me to see it's okay to be peaceful and you can still honor him and serve him, and he'll still love you even if you're not going to be a warrior. It was hard to have to go through that experience, but I think that was kind of like my trial by fire, but I put myself through it. It was not Odin's idea. Odin's idea was to always be nice and gentle. And I was having that experience, but the only people that were talking about him are like, oh no, Odin's super mean and aggressive. If he's not pushing you and doing all this other stuff to you, then it's not really Odin that you're dealing with. And I try to look up other people that had gentle experiences. And do you know when you want something, Odin will make sure you don't find it? Because he was like, no, we're going to wait and see what you come up with on your own. So it it was kind of hard, but I just had to trust him and trust that he had the best of intentions towards me. He did, and he's been like really gentle kittenly. And I know I'm like halfway talking to you, halfway seeing where I'm going. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, he kept apologizing. It was really sad. So we have had tea together. We've had herbal tea together. We had dinner together. We watched a movie together. And Loki got lunch. Loki got lunch and some coffee and stuff like that. And we did some meditation together. We did the beach meditation. And, you know, it's kind of hard when you go from the idea you build up of him to how he's really going to be with you. Because he's going to be different with everyone. He's not going to be, like, really nice and gentle with some people. He said, you know, that just wouldn't work with some people. They wouldn't respect him, or they couldn't relate to that either, but that's what he wanted with me. And I had to go pick the hardest, most difficult route, but that was all on me. That was not Odin picking that route for me, just to be clear. So I figured I would, one, bring you to the beach, because this is really pretty, yeah? And two, I would just kind of catch you up to speed. So yeah, he's back. He's back in, and he's being really gentle. Like he was when I first met him. He was extremely gentle when I first met him, and that's what actually attracted me to him. That he was that gentle. But, you know, we live in a world that's, you know, expects men to be really rough. Plus, how do I say this without being offensive? Our culture can kind of support that kind of toxic masculinity, that idea that a man can never be gentle or feel emotions and that. And when people talk about the Allfather a lot of times, unfortunately, that gets super amplified. The Allfather could never be nice to you because he just can't, because he's incapable of being nice. He's never gentle. He was always mean. He threw his children in the air and didn't catch them. I don't know. But yeah, it's that kind of nonsense of he's rough and he's tough and he's mean, and I'm not saying he doesn't have a warrior aspect. I'm just saying it's more, if you think of a samurai, they could go to war and they could fight, but they could also make poetry and they could arrange flowers and they had gardens and they loved the arts and they were, you know, patrons of artists. And so it's really been nice because I could have had it this way, this nice and gentle the whole time. I could have. But I think I also had that idea too, again from our culture, that a gentle man can't, you know, support you the way a guy acting like a barbarian can. Do you know what I mean? Like if a guy's not really aggressive. So that was on me, and I apologize to my male viewers, I really do, but we both kind of had to be deprogrammed, because if you've seen a certain ad that everyone is talking about, that was the view of men when I was growing up, and so a lot of men, I'm sure around my age, just don't know any better, because that's how they were taught they have to act. And if they don't act that way, there's something wrong with them. And we still kind of pretty much live in that culture, so he has his work cut out for him. And I said, would you want me to talk about that, or is that something you want me to not discuss? And he's like, no, because I think you had to go on that journey to the other extreme to appreciate him being gentle, and I overshot my thing here. But yeah, he wanted me to go on the journey, not because he wanted me to, but because it was the only way I would accept that he's gentle and he's very tender and kind with me. So that's why he wanted that board, actually, that hippie crystal love Odin board. Yeah, that's why he wanted it. And I know I don't have any followers on Pinterest anymore, which is fine because it means I could do what I want with my boards. So it's a really good thing. And Loki's very happy, and Loki's like, "What did I tell you?" Loki actually helped this whole thing along tonight. He imitated Odin, and he said it was all him all along, and that really confused me, so I had to go meditate and burn some incense. Trust me, guys, I don't do nothing but meditate all day, even though I know it sounds like I do. But so we did that, is what we did. And that was, really nice, actually. Because once Loki gave me that final push, I could give Odin what he wants. So he's gonna have some cookies. We're all gonna have some oatmeal cookies. That's why I save all my baking, so we have stuff in an emergency. And we spent a lot of time healing together. I know that's not a popular view of Odin, which is why I didn't want to talk about it, especially when I've been pretty vocal the other way. So I realize a lot of people are probably like, yeah, she's doing this for attention. I wouldn't do that because I love Odin and I would never insult him. That's why I had such a struggle, because I wanted to be absolutely sure that to see him this way wasn't an insult to his honor or anything else. And it's kind of hard when you're approached by a peaceful aspect of a war god, because everybody around you is saying, no, they're terrible, they're awful, they'll fight anybody. And he just needed me to go through the process at my own chosen speed. That took about 2 years, was up to me entirely. It was not up to him. So, if you guys like what you see, like, comment, and subscribe. That was probably the worst video ever. But I really wanted to talk to somebody about it, and you guys are it. So, yeah, I wanted to talk to somebody about it, and I kind of wanted to make you guys a beach thing. And I'm like, I know almost nobody watches these, so the people that watch this, I hope you know you're kind of late to tell you now. I hope you know you're allowed to just tune my voice out. It won't really offend me, but yep, so we've been working on our hippie Odin board, and I have a hippie board, peace love board, and everything else. So we were talking, he said, if you want to see this kind of change, you have to be this change. You can't be going around picking fights and getting into arguments and supporting, say, politicians that are for war and everything, and then, like, be pinning about peace. He said, you're doing two entirely different things. You're not going to get anywhere. So he had a point. So, it's going to be a journey with him. And I'm just really happy that, we did that. And I don't think I made sense this entire video. I'm sorry, but it's a lot to process when Odin is kind and gentle and sweet. You have, like, 0 to work with. I've been, like, picking through the Havamal quotes and doing other stuff, and I can only work from my own experience, so it's been really hard. It's been a challenge. I'm happy he's this kind, but it's still been a challenge to do it. So if you guys like what you see, like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you later. Bye bye.